Two Crime Besties, we are back for 2026.
2026, here it is. Bum, bum, bum.
We've got so much to catch up on.
I know. It feels like it's been forever.
It feels like it's been forever. We were just like, I feel a bit out of touch.
Yeah, I'm in a totally different headspace this year, I think. I don't know. So the brain's got to click back onto crime mode and everything.
That's it.
And yeah. Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there. Absolutely, we'll get there.
Champagne might be helping.
Definitely. We did some planning last week, so at least we know what's coming up.
Yeah, we've got a better idea of like the next month or so. Yeah.
Oh, we went a bit further than that,
I don't think we did,
actually. Oh, didn't we? In my mind, well, you know what? I think in my mind it's until the kids go back to school.
Yeah, we definitely
which
got
actually
ourselves that
is
sorted.
only, a few weeks away.
Yeah.
Really. So that's something.
It's too soon.
Oh, not for me.
Yeah.
For you, of course, because you bloody have to go back to work at the same
I've
time.
got to go back as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want that.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
No.
Fair enough. I go back to work on Monday, so... Oh, anyway, it is what it is. So tell me, you spent your Christmas with your family. You went and had a nice little love-in together. How did that go?
It was great. We had so much fun. Kids got to go on the beach on Christmas Day and it wasn't that warm or anything, but it was fine.
I feel like it was 18
paddled.
degrees or something from memory.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was blue skies where we were, it was nice. It was, we were in, pants and t-shirts kind of sort of weather, but it wasn't freezing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But no, we weren't going in for a swim necessarily.
Yes,
but all the kids, of course, they do as they do. But that was good. It was really lovely that we all got to wake up together and do Santa together, and the kids had a ball, so it was really nice. And because the varying ages of the children, it's really interesting to watch what the older ones now. Kind of have
Their
how that
attitude
looks
towards it, yeah.
And then also, obviously, like to the youngest of ours that very much a believer and very excited over very little things, and who got a couple potatoes in the mix. So,
yep.
well deserved potatoes. Which I love that because they just, my kids are, Brody, when he got one year, we just got told, yes, I love potato.
It is his favourite vegetable.
They make chips. So yeah, she was very, very much the same page. Like, oh my God, it's a potato, yay!
Oh, I love it. No, guys, this is meant to be a punishment.
It's meant to be, that was a
you're actually
present
meant
before.
to learn a lesson from this.
Yeah, I know. There was the older ones trying to do the whole, no, Zoe, that was a present that's now a potato. Like you missed out on something, and she's like, yeah. Okay. Couldn't it? It was just the excitement of everything. It was so funny.
She was all caught up. And she was probably delighted with the present she had anyway.
Potatoes, why not?
I love it. I absolutely love it. And then we've had New Year's roll around as well.
Yeah. What did you do for Christmas and New Year's?
So Christmas, we hosted on Christmas Eve. We have friends and family over, and it was great. It was a really good day. Christmas Day, we were with my mum's side of the family, which is huge.
Huge family.
Huge family. And we all still get together, and I don't think we have a house in the family anymore that accommodates us all comfortably. So
comfortably, I love that.
Yeah, there's going to have to, we all squash in. But, I think there might be some, I don't know, maybe some change afoot.
You don't try and do a full sit-down lunch or anything?
It's a full sit-down lunch.
No, you can't do that with that many people.
Although we do some cold meats, but some hot meats, seafood, salads.
But you got to do a bit of a, sit somewhere, not at the table at a...
Well, no, we do set a table.
Wow. How do you
We've got communal family trestle tables and chairs that just get passed around to whoever's hosting whichever event.
Yeah.
And, we just kind of make do. But it's a lot.
Yeah, even just trying to have it's one thing to have the furniture, but it's another thing to have the space. So
not anyone has a space for that many people.
No way.
I don't know, we'll see how time goes on, because I think it's probably time for us to split off into our more immediate families on Christmas Day.
Because it's not even the fact of adding a baby to a group like that isn't actually the problem. It's the kids getting older and taking up more space.
100%.
Yeah.
And all of my cousins, and I've got lots of them.
Yeah.
Everyone, pretty much, almost all of them have kids now, and more kids, and they're getting older, and it's a lot. And the kids need space. They're the ones who actually need the most space. To run around and be kids and all that sort of stuff.
It sounds great, big family on Christmas Day, but it can be absolute chaos.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's
just
a
love
lot.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't, was it? So great.
Yeah. But look, I love Christmas, but I was watching this meme that came up, it must have been a day or two after Christmas, and it was like this woman who at the start of Christmas, she's listening to, 1st of December, listening to Christmas carols, putting up her Christmas tree, and everything's so like really soft focus and lovely, and she's loving it, sipping a wine. And then she walks past her Christmas tree on the 27th of December and she's like, oh,
light it on fire.
Yeah. And that is exactly how I felt this year.
Yeah.
Normally I'm like, I'll give it a week or not two, because we've got a very early birthday in our family, very early January. So we always make sure we do the proper changeover, but from Christmas to birthday stuff. But this year I was like, get it the fuck out of my house. I don't know what it was, but I was so done with it. I was just done.
Yeah.
So we were packed up on the 27th of December.
Wow, that's quick. Yeah,
that's really quick.
I waited for after New Year's to do mine, but it was, like maybe the day or two after.
Yeah.
That I packed up and everything. And it was quite satisfying to put it all away.
I don't know. It felt cathartic. I don't know why.
Yes, very cathartic putting it away. It was like, done with that.
That's done, and we're on to the next year. Yeah.
But now it's the chaos of the back to school shit.
Well, we had a birthday. So my youngest had his birthday at the start of this week. So I had all birthday stuff out.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd put everything away, but I actually just walked into the hallway before and I'm like, oh, there's a happy birthday sign still up. Oh, shit, forgot about that one. We just had family over for that this year.
Yeah.
He's turning 10 next year, so he's
going
to have a party next year.
Hold out.
Like, hold out for another year and you can have a nice party next year. So.
Well, I've had very strict instructions on what to buy this little one for his birthday.
Oh,
so
have you?
We're still waiting for it to arrive.
Oh, yeah.
But it'll hopefully be in time for when he gets home to give it to him. So
that's cute.
It's very strict instructions. So
I love it. That's so cute. They really know what they want.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if Lucas wants it, but I know what Brody wants to get Lucas.
Brody wants Lucas to have it. So I'm sure Lucas will love it if that's the case. And another sort of, maybe this was what spurred on my want to get rid of all the Christmas stuff as well, but we actually got a puppy. So we welcomed little Piper to our family. Little? not as little as we expected, I can tell you that for sure. We welcomed a Groodle. So she's a golden retriever crossed with a poodle, first generation. She's just gorgeous. She's so cute. Lovely little thing. It was definitely earlier than we thought we were going to get a dog, given Luna. We had to have Luna put down in August of 2025. So it's only 5 months or so. But but Lucas actually said to me, he was like, Mum, I don't want a dog. I need a dog.
Well, I'm with him on that as much because I find it really hard to – I wasn't ready for my one when I got after losing one. And but the things kids do, they do need a dog.
Yeah.
And it's for that consistent – just completely undying love that they get from a dog that we can't give them. Because we go up and down like fucking yo-yos. Totally. And some days I can't hug you right now because you're driving me mental. Yeah. But the dog will.
Yeah, I need space. Go and see the dog.
Yeah, go see the dog. Yeah. I've got so many photos of Brody particularly sitting outside, talking to the dog. It's like,
just debriefing.
Because clearly Mum could not deal with it right now. Yeah, kids need that. So
for sure.
Unconditional love's got to come from somewhere.
That's it. But having a puppy in the house again, God, you forget what it's like.
Oh, it's worse than a baby, I reckon, puppies.
You reckon?
I do. I actually feel like it's harder.
Yeah. Well, it's like that they come to you as a manic mental toddler. Yes. That's why.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck. I haven't even had... I don't know. I haven't had time to warm into this yet. She's gorgeous. She's lovely. She's actually quite placid for a puppy.
Yes.
But she's got so much energy, as they do. And we're still, working on the toilet training. We're getting there, although she just peed outside, just outside the hallway while she was groaning at us to come in before. So, we're getting there, but we're not quite there yet. But she's still so little. So little. I took her, so it was her first outing yesterday, and we took her to the beach, and oh my God, she's a water dog through and through. Luna hated the water.
Oh,
she'll
love the water.
But oh my God, Piper
Zoomies.
Loved it. Oh my goodness. She was just in her element.
Yeah.
We went down with my brother's little toy cavoodle, and Piper is already oh my God, 5 or 6 times her size. And yeah, but they got along really, really well. So it was good. I hope that continues as they all grow up. But yeah, it's really cute.
It's lovely when the cousin dogs also.
Yeah, that's it. They're going to have to get used to each other because they'll be seeing a bit of each other over the next however long. Yeah. So that's good.
Love that when you all get together as a family and include the dogs too.
Yeah, that's it. They're all part of the family.
Absolutely are, for sure.
Now, do you have New Year's resolutions? Is that something you do?
No, not really, because I don't stick to them.
No,
so, I mean, I have this general vision of what I want 2026 to bring, but not sort of, resolutions aren't great for me.
I feel the same way. I'm not a resolution person because I never stick to them. Who does? It's just too much pressure on one thing.
It is. And starting it from January 1, forget it. I'm still on holidays, fuck that.
100%.
Yeah, no, I have generally ideas of wanting to actually, as we've spoken about and probably more in our crime adjacent on our Patreon, but I need to eat lunch at work and things like that that I really want to get more, just better habits for those things. And I've already prepared a few things over that I've been doing the last few days, getting the containers to get myself motivated to want to fill the container with things.
Something. More than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Things to take them into work will actually mean that I'll actually might take something. So, yeah, but that's really as close as I get to a New Year's resolution. But I mean, again, I probably won't stick to that. So let's be real.
Some days you will. You've got the right intentions.
Yeah,
that's a step in the right direction.
Exactly. I mean, the resolution is to get better at it. Not to be
perfect.
Let's not aim for the stars.
No.
Just
well, no one's perfect at anything.
No, I'm definitely far from that. So
that's it. Yeah. We all are.
Well, I'm sure things will throw spanners in the works, but we just pick ourselves up and get going again.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a resolution person. I don't know. You know how I don't know if you listen to any of the Mamma Mia podcasts, but the Out Louders do an intention or a word of the year.
Yeah.
And I actually think that's better, because then maybe that's something you can reflect on as you go and be like, oh, is that true to that word or that intention that I stated at the start of the year?
Yeah.
I say that not having thought about what I would do or have or what it is, but I think kindness maybe or something like that, being kind to other people and to myself.
That's
well,
not
yeah,
anything
but
new.
Maybe being more empathetic or I don't know. I don't know. I had the patience of a friggin' saint today, actually, speaking of kindness.
You did?
Now,
what?
I know. I am not by my very nature patient. I'm not a patient person at all. It's why I could never be a school teacher. I would just, oh my God, I couldn't.
Patience is definitely something you need, but not everyone has when they're teachers.
Yeah. Well, I recognised in myself that probably wouldn't be a good thing as a teacher. So that wasn't a career I pursued. But today, my mum and dad are going to bloody listen to this, but so mum decided to get a new tablet.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what came over me, but when I was over at their place, I was like, I'll order it on Amazon because we've got a Prime account.
I've done a lot of this over the holidays myself, yeah.
I'll order it for you. Well, first of all, I get a phone call from Dad one day. Mm-hmm. Well, the cover didn't come. And I'm like, yep, because it comes in a different delivery.
Separately,
Doesn't come in the same delivery. So don't yell at me. It's coming. It'll be there when it gets there. Then today I got a phone call because they couldn't. So they got the cover.
Yeah.
Now they've decided to set up the tablet.
Yeah.
And they were having issues with that.
Yeah.
And I have to give myself a bit of a pat on the back because I was actually very patient.
Oh.
And it went against my very nature. But these are the things I'm going to try and be kinder about.
Literally set my mum up with a new phone today, and it's like.
But did you do it for her, or did you have to talk her through it?
No. I just said, give it here and I'll do it.
See, that I can do.
Yeah. No, because I was like, literally, give me your face.
Then Mum,
when you need that bit. Or
if I did that, Mum would be like, no, you're just clicking through it, and I don't know what you're doing.
You don't need
to know.
You don't need to know.
But she's like, I want to know. Nah, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. That I think. My dad would be that way. He wants to know how to do it himself, but then he's going to ask me 100 times anyway.
Yeah, he'll ask you when he gets his new phone again anyway.
Yeah, same, yeah. But whereas mum is a little bit more like, just do it.
Please. Just set it up. I want it working the way it always has worked.
Yes. I've literally in the last probably less than a month set up a Fire Stick, a mobile phone, a computer and a smartwatch.
You're amazing.
And I am not I'm tech. Like I can do some stuff, but I'm not.
This is what I was saying to Mum and Dad today, right? These things aren't made to be hard.
No.
They're actually very user-friendly.
Until you hit
a snag, right? But then if you've hit that snag, someone else has hit that snag and they've put it on the internet somewhere for you to find.
That's exactly
right.
So
if you come up with an issue, Google it. See whether you can solve the problem
and then you find out that,
that's exactly what I did today
doesn't pair to an iOS device.
Yes. Yes. Or in my mum's case, her phone is too old and you can't actually download the right app for it.
Yep.
So anyway, oh, we deserve medals?
Oh, 100%. I'm like, when I set up that computer, I'm like, I was expecting to ring Peter.
You go,
and
girl.
they'll literally to like have that set up and have the kids arrive and go, you can use it, and there wasn't an issue. I'm like, what have I done? I'm like,
you're like
kicking goals.
We can just get rid of producer Pete.
I don't know about that. I did need him to know what to buy. So.
Oh, that's good. Are the kids liking their new computer?
Oh, they love it. They love it.
That's so cool.
One of them particularly. So, yeah. I think the other one will get more use of it when we go to school and stuff. Though,
yeah,
so
okay.
He's got different purposes for using it.
Tech is for certain things.
Yes.
A computer is for certain things.
Some like it for gaming. Others like it for nerd stuff.
Yeah,
that's
it. And that's okay.
And that's okay. Absolutely.
And that also slots into different times in the week too.
I think it will work well.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yes, we'll get there.
I love it. Very, very good. All right. Well, over the break, we have had a few new Patreons.
We have.
And we've had a lot of lovely new comments. So I've got a few shout outs for today.
Cool.
So our new Patreons are Mim Schmidt, who actually said she's already binged 40 episodes.
Oh, my God.
She found us 2 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, wow.
And she is devastated. She's like, I'm going to be so devastated when I catch up and I have to listen week to week.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does. I've felt like that with podcasts before. Jess Everingham, Rebecca Hillam, Wendy Franklin and Jennifer Newth, thank you very, very much for becoming Patreons. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. It's so wildly appreciated by us. So thank you very, very much. And then we've had some really lovely comments on our socials as well. So I've just got a few names to read through. We had Jill Street, Lisa, who has smashed our back catalogue as well over the holidays, Cherry Hope Hennessy, Rachel L. Finch, Chloe, who loves the piece of shit commentary that we put out, and Fem, who sent us a couple of really lovely messages. So thank you to everybody for commenting, because it really actually goes a long way to getting our podcast out to other people. The algorithm likes comments, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter.
Tell us we suck. It still helps.
Yeah, we're not easily offended. I'll tell you that for free.
No.
So yeah, if you can, comment, like, share. The sharing really, really helps if you share our podcast with someone who you think may like it.
Yeah.
Let's get 2026 going with a bang, because what was the other thing that happened? What did you send me on New Year's Eve?
Oh.
Do you remember?
No.
We ticked over our 300,000 downloads on New Year's Eve. Or was maybe, I think it might have been the day before
or something. But yeah, I know. I just happened to check it on New Year's Eve and went just to see where we're at for like the end of the year.
Because we were like, do you think we'll make it? Will we make it? And we made it.
We made it by about 1,000 by that day. I think that was, And I was
so
like, oh my God.
Thank you to each and every one of you for listening to our episodes. It really, really means a lot to us.
It's huge. And we have actually just launched our new TikTok page. So we're back on TikTok. So we got banned from TikTok because like we don't know. Yeah, it was just real weird. So we just got our page removed, and no one responded to us when we applied for it to appeal it and everything. Nothing came back. The page is just gone, and along with our thousands of followers,
many thousands of followers.
So we're currently on 14.
Such losers.
So I feel like a bit of a dick.
Just rename it to Two Crime Losers.
Our two crime besties is literally all of us that are here.
Where are we? Oh, we're here.
So come and join us over there, please, because I feel like a bit of a dick posting to nobody. So we need to get that algorithm pumping again. So come and join us over on TikTok. You'll find us at TikTok.com/2 crime.besties is our new tag.
Yeah.
So, but you should be able to find us on there if you search for us. So
Yeah.
we come up. But I've posted a couple of things on there to try and get it rolling. But, yeah, please come and join us. I will do our regular posting on that we were doing. I'll get back into putting it up there as well. So as we release new episodes, we'll put stuff up.
All the stuff will go up there. And then also like continue going to our Instagram because everything goes through there as well. And obviously then we filter that through to Facebook. I think
Insta's just a little bit, I don't know, a bit more friendly, especially at the moment. I don't know what the go is with TikTok. I feel like, I don't know if it'll take off again, how we had it. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. See. Like we're like the community that we've got on Instagram, I think is amazing. Just gorgeous. Like there's such lovely people, lovely comments. Everyone's really kind and respectful on Instagram. On TikTok, you get
TikTok's a bit interesting. Facebook's pretty interesting at times too.
Yep, that's true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney Plus.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're gonna crack this case and prove we're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
You are... Gary the Snake. And your last name? The Snake.
Dream team.
And new habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home.
You're clearly working at
Zootopia 2. Now available on Disney Plus, rated PG.
All right, should we get into today's case?
Oh, let's. This is a very interesting one.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know about you, but I didn't know the half of it. I thought,
okay.
We'll get into it. But today we're discussing Leanne Holland or Leanne Sarah Holland. So this is a case that happened in 1991. Mm-hmm. In Queensland.
Goodna, Queensland, yeah.
And it's, wow, I feel like her name is known by so many people.
Yeah.
And so this is what I knew of the case before we started researching it.
Yeah.
I knew her name. I knew she was a young schoolgirl. Mm-hmm. I knew she'd been murdered by someone she knew and someone she knew had been convicted and had gone to jail.
Yeah.
That's all I knew.
Okay, right. You know, this case has really, I don't know, it's hit me for a long time, and I've been a bit of a down a rabbit hole of this one for quite some time.
Right.
Pre us doing podcast stuff.
Okay.
It's one that I've followed.
You already had an inkling about where things were sitting?
Oh, yeah. No, I've followed this for years. Like this has been one that so there's been a couple of really good podcasts come out. Mm-hmm. A book prior to Who Killed Leanne Holland.
Yeah. And
then it became a podcast as well. And even before that, I was very much like, what the fuck's with this case? There's something like not right here. And then when the podcast came out, I listened to that, from where to go, as it was released. So yeah, this is one I've really been in for a long time.
The podcast is produced by the same, or is narrated or hosted by the same guy who did the Beanham Valley Road podcast. Yeah. And he's awesome. I really like listening to him. He's Australian, very down to earth.
He's an ex-cop.
Ex-police officer.
Yeah.
And it's really, really well done. It's so detailed. So if you want more detail around all of this, because there's no way we can cover in that much explicit detail in a Two Crime Besties, go on. If you want a long form podcast on this, Who Killed Leanne Holland is well worth a listen.
Definitely well worth a listen. I will, but premise that with, and I may or may not believe what's in that podcast is what I want to say with this, is that there is definitely people with very strong views on this case. Mm-hmm. And so you can find things that lean certain ways for a particular reason.
100%.
So you do need to listen to things with an open mind, hear the actual facts when you listen. Like, don't listen to someone's opinion. You've really got to get into the facts of this.
Yeah, I think that's very, very true.
Yeah.
And I think a lot can be said about the timeline in this particular case as well. And there's so much to get into. So let's get started. So Leanne Sarah Holland was born on the 1st of October in 1978. At the time of her death, she was 12 years of age. She was 5'2", about 41 kilos, had blonde permed hair. Bloody love it.
So 90s.
She lived at 70A Ellis Street in Goodna, Queensland, which is a western suburb of Ipswich. And she lived with her father, Terry, and her sister, Melissa, and her sister's partner, Graham Stafford.
They lived there for nearly 6 months, the two of them, with their dad. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Now, Melissa and Leanne's mother, she left when Leanne was about 12 months old, and we don't really know anything about her.
You can't really get information on her. Like, there's
She moved
not much.
to New South Wales. That's about all I could find.
When her and her dad split, she disappeared, and she really has had nothing to do with her kids. So there's actually also a brother who's not mentioned much in this because he wasn't living in the house at the time.
Yeah.
So he wasn't part of the investigation as such or anything that when people look into this. But there were 3 children.
Yeah. So his name was Craig.
Yeah.
At the time of Leanne's death, Craig was 23 years old. He'd moved out with friends. I know he was a removalist. That's what he did as a job. That's basically it. There's not really much out there about him.
No, he did visit the house before Leanne went missing, which is worth noting.
Yeah.
But the police don't recognise that.
No, and that's very, very true. He did live at the home with Leanne and Terry, the father, for a while before he moved out. And it was after he moved out that Melissa and Graham Stafford moved in, because Leanne being 12 years of age, so Melissa at this point, I think she was 20 years of age.
Yep.
She and Graham had been together for about 11 months at the time.
Yep.
And so Terry, the father, was 46 years old when Leanne was killed. He made lead acid batteries. That was his job.
Yeah.
And I think he was a chronic alcoholic. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, a fair thing to say. Yeah.
They lived right across the road from the Cecil Hotel in Goodna, and apparently he would have to pub hop because he would get so drunk that he'd be banned banned from different pubs. So he'd move around and find another place to drink. And Leanne was known to frequent these pubs looking for her dad. So if you think about that as a 12-year-old girl, I don't know that she had a massive amount of supervision. I think she brought herself up, honestly.
Well, there's a sort of differing opinion of him in that sense that Dad Terry was what you call a functioning alcoholic. So as much as he would do those things, and he would disappear to the pub and try and he was very much an alcoholic, no question, but he could hold down a job.
Yeah, that's true.
And he did have a good relationship with his kids.
Yep.
They weren't, my deadbeat dad kind of situation. He did keep a household neat, tidy, like kind of stuff, to a degree as a male. But like there was a home and there was love in the home.
Yeah. I think that's very fair to say. He cared for his children as much as he could.
Yeah.
Given the situation.
I'm not standing up for him being an alcoholic. I just mean that it wasn't as straightforward as a deadbeat dad.
No, not at all.
He was around.
That's it. And I think the fact that he asked Melissa to move back in to have another adult have a pair of eyes on her, that shows that there was a degree of care
and
there.
understanding that he wasn't capable of it, and so
not necessarily always capable.
Yeah.
So look, Graham, who was Melissa's boyfriend at the time, Graham Stafford, he said that at the time he wasn't all that keen on moving in because he'd actually helped them move from a different place in Goodna into this place in Alice Street. And he said when he helped them move, he was in their old house and he'd only been there once or twice before. And he said it was so dilapidated. It was disgusting. There were doors off hinges. It was filthy. He said it was like squatters had been living there. Like it was really run down. And so he was like, he didn't really want to move to the house in Alice Street because he's like, I don't really want to live like that.
Yeah.
So, but he said he didn't want to lose Melissa. Melissa really wanted to go and help her dad out and help Leanne out and help raise Leanne. And so that's how they ended up there.
The idea was they were going to move out themselves eventually. By doing it, they were going to save money and things as well.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it was mutually beneficial, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Leanne was in year 8 at Redbank Plains High School at the time of her murder. She was popular. She had a lot of friends. She was very well liked. I think she was a fairly average student, but she was left to her own devices a lot, I think. And so, in terms of discipline in completing homework or doing all those extra bits and pieces that are expected of you once you hit high school. I don't know that she was really into that at all.
She would often just take herself off to a friend's place and stay the night at friends as well. So there wasn't that supervision of where is she constantly. She would check in with her dad and things like that, but and she would mention to him, I'm going to so-and-so's house, but sometimes she wouldn't too. So there was kind of this free kind of lifestyle from her, especially once we get to this point where it's school holidays. So she's, start of school holidays. What do kids do on school holidays? Yeah, they go and visit their friends. They go and, go and do those things. At 12, maybe not so much, but 12 for her, that was her lifestyle.
She was doing that well before
she
was 12. She had, free reign really.
Yeah.
She would go and stay the night at neighbours' houses and, I feel like she was kind of raised by the community in a way.
Well, she had a friend that lived down at the caravan park, which is only like a K down the road from their place, Trish, and she'd go and stay at her place constantly. They lived in the caravan park there. So that was a regular one that she would stay at, but there were others as well that she would just, just stay at their houses. So they might not see her for a day or two, but that was not unusual.
Yeah, so that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like thinking about that now, having kids, I'm like, fucking hell,
I mean, I guess
just couldn't.
A different lifestyle of, life in the 90s, plus being the way that she was raised. Between those two things, it was not considered abnormal at the time.
Yeah, that's true. Did you read anywhere about this boyfriend she supposedly had who was like 17 or 18 years of age?
Oh, I've vaguely heard little bits about that, but nothing massive.
Same.
It's sort of been skimmed over as if it's nothing and not really
so I
valid.
assume it's nothing. But then to think, I guess if she had the freedom and nobody really looking over her shoulder, the fact that she had an older boyfriend maybe doesn't come as much of a shock.
Yeah, I don't know. From what I've read about that side of things, I don't know there's a lot in it. I think that people have misconstrued something potentially too, because she was pretty girly and liked hanging out with her girlfriends. Like she wasn't that way inclined from what... I mean, many people would say that she'd go and kick the footy with her friend.
But then
kind of stuff.
Heard
not
from other sources that she was like, somebody used the word promiscuous.
Yeah, that's not...
And I'm like, first of all... You actually can't call a 12-year-old promiscuous because being promiscuous implies that you're able to give consent, and at 12 years of age you're not. I don't know. I don't know that there's anything to that necessarily. She was 12 years old, for goodness sake.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know there's as much in that as there's.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think there's so much else going on around her in that environment that wasn't key.
Yeah, I think that's very fair.
Way.
I think that's very, very fair.
Sure, there might have been boys hovering around and stuff like that, but
I mean, she was a very gorgeous-looking girl.
Yeah. But there was plenty of even other dickheads floating around. That
so many.
A 17-year-old boy is probably not the biggest issue.
No.
Although one of them was 19.
One was 19.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that. Oh, we'll get to all this, but it goes to show you never know the people who are around you until something like this actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So should we start on the day of?
Yeah, let's just jump into the day she went missing.
Yeah. So this was on Monday, the 23rd. Thank you, of September in 1991. Now, there's many versions of events of what actually happened this day, and depending on where you get your information from, there's discrepancies, there's slight variations and differences. So it's kind of hard to really go down by it. But what we think, or what I've gathered, we can
go with what the police they've confirmed story according to them. But then there are other aspects of it that they don't call confirmed.
Yeah.
About what happened that day.
Yeah. And then, this all gets me. There's so much to this. Anyway, so basically what the police case is, or what the Crown case is that on that morning, let's go back a couple of days. That weekend, the Saturday and Sunday, Melissa and Graham had actually been staying with some friends. They'd gone away somewhere up the coast and had been staying with some friends. They came back on the Sunday night. Leanne was at home. Terry was at home. And they all went to bed, had dinner, went to bed as normal. On the Monday morning, Melissa and Graham both worked at B&D Roller Doors. Melissa worked in the office there, and Graham worked as like a computer Sky specialist. I don't know. He basically made the doors, like the print of the doors.
Yeah.
That was his job there. And that's how they met, obviously. And Terry, so on this Monday morning, Melissa went to work and Terry went to work.
Yep.
And Graham had an RDO.
Mm-hmm.
So in the house, it's school holidays. Leanne hadn't gone to school this day because
First day
it's
of school holidays.
First day of school holidays. And so what the Crown say is that Graham and Leanne were left at home. Apparently, Leanne said to Graham at some point in the morning that she wanted to dye her hair. Now, Graham had tips or those like condom caps. Those condom caps and like you'd pull the hair out. I think he had, something of that going on. And one of his friends used to do it for him. He said in one of the podcasts I listened to, he said, I used to give her a bottle of Tia Maria and she'd do my hair for me. I'm like, could you get more 90s than that?
Yeah, Jesus.
But so he had some of the supplies left over. And what he said to Leanne was, yeah, look, I've got this stuff left over, but you have to ask your sister whether you're allowed to use it or not.
Even your dad. I think she asked her dad.
Your dad, was
it?
Yeah.
And
she called her
dad?
Yeah,
she called him. That's where I kind of go, like, it wasn't like she had no respect for her dad or none of that.
100%.
Like, she did. She rang her dad and said to him, can I dye my hair? Her words to her dad were that Graham, well, according to Terry anyway, she said, Graham said he'd help me.
Yeah.
So it was like, she was trying to get him over the line of saying yes to this, like to dyeing her hair, So like, of course, as someone who's older and more mature is going to help me out. She's trying to like, talk him into it.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, well, whatever, like, you're going to do, like, kind of thing. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay. So she's got the approval of her father to do it. So over the phone. Yeah.
So she phoned him at work at about 8:45 a.m. on that Monday morning.
But Graham has said since, he goes, oh, I was never going to help her. Like, I don't know what I was doing. Like, someone used to do it for me. I just had the products she could use.
That's right.
There was no intention from him of like helping her do it and like, wetting her hair in the bathroom or any of those sorts of things. He had no intention really, according to him, of what he's spoken about. It wasn't that he was going to help her do it. He was going to help her by providing some products that he had.
And what he says is he gave her the products and she just put them down on the kitchen table, and to his knowledge, they were never used.
Yeah.
What the Crown say, or should we get into that? Do you think now?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
What the Crown say happened is that Graham did help Leanne, and in doing so, it elicited a bit of a psychosexual rage in him, and he lashed out and beat her with a hammer. Mm-hmm. Now, this is allegedly, according to the Crown, this happened in the bathroom of the home. Mm-hmm. And what they then say is that he carried her body out of the house, and now they had an old Queenslander. So basically the garage is underneath and the dwelling is on a second story.
Yeah.
But the stairs to get into the house, or to that second story, are at the front of the house, so outside of the house. Mm-hmm. So what the Crown alleges is that Graham has then taken Leanne's body out of the bathroom, mm-hmm. down those front stairs, placed her body in the boot of his car. So he had
prior to that.
Oh, sorry.
Main road.
Yep.
Pub across the road. Taken her down those steps and then dived and got out a curtain, screen that was removed from the house weeks prior. Would that still be in the bin?
I think it was multiple weeks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was
weeks.
like after the bins had been taken, but go on.
Yep. Laid that down and put her body, wrapped it in that curtain, and then put her in his boot of his car. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then left that body there for 2 days. Driving around with Melissa in the car.
With Terry in the car.
And then eventually dumping the body 2 days later.
Yeah, that's what the Crown alleges. Now, there are so many issues with all of this. Not the least of which is that, as you said, Melissa had been in the car. They'd gone and gotten groceries together. They went and got groceries on that Monday night, actually.
Yeah.
And there was no suggestion from Graham not to use the boot or anything like that.
They didn't use the boot. They didn't use the boot, but as Melissa has said very clearly, it wasn't even a thought process from her to use the boot. They bought a couple of groceries. She put the bag, I think, on the back seat.
She did.
It wasn't even a thought from her that she would use the boot. It was never a conversation of, oh, don't put that in the boot, like from Graham. There was no defense of that. She could have very easily have walked around and put that in the boot, is what she sort of has said.
Yep.
But there was no don't put that in the boot. It was just put in the back seat. There was,
It's just as you do. Like I would do that if I only had a couple of groceries. Probably.
Yeah.
You know, we all just chuck, you know, if there's no one back there, you just chuck it on the back seat.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, my God, there's so much that goes along with all of this.
I guess in terms of like the thing is that they say is the last sighting of her was roughly 9:30. A number of people saw her walking into town. So they do say that she, without, you know, dismissing this stuff with Graham Stafford, that she did go into town. She did walk up to the shops because a number of people had sighted her there, interacted with her, whatever, around the shops, that she was heading towards the hairdressers or something to get some other product, but she never got to the hairdressers.
That's right.
So the inference is that she's then turned around from there and gone back home, and that's when this has occurred with Graham Stafford. But if we take that away and go, okay, that's what Graham Stafford's done or hasn't done. Yeah, she just, according to the Crown, that was her last sighting, was 9:30 in that morning. However, there are unconfirmed other people who have come forward who have seen her at other times during that same day.
So there was an alleged sighting at 10:15 a.m. At the Combank in Queen Street. So we know she was seen in Queen Street at about 9:30, as you said. That was the last confirmed sighting according to the police.
Yeah.
There are unconfirmed sightings. One was at 10:15. Now, this one I find really fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
Because she was actually withdrawing money for this old bloke.
Her uncle.
Yeah, who lived like not far from there.
Yeah, yeah. And it's to me, it's confirmed. The police say it's unconfirmed, but the evidence that has been found about it. But you know why
the police say it's unconfirmed? Because he denies it. He denies that he got her to do it.
The uncle denies it, but all the bank stuff agrees with it, that it happened.
So the teller who has seen Leanne on multiple occasions.
She was missing for, like, so we should probably go back to that point. Like she, the family, like, so she's walked off from Graham. According to Graham, what happened? She disappeared at 9:30 off into the town, into the shops, and that's the last he saw of her. Now, they didn't report her missing until the following day at 5:45 p.m.
Yeah.
So the fact that they basically report her missing then, and it goes around the town, you know, look, missing girl. So when that's come up on TV or, you know, whatever, this bank teller's gone, well, actually, I saw her at the bank. Like, I'm sure of it. That's the name even that I remember. And she said to the police, I remember removing, like, she took out $200, and I had to do a third party check on somebody removing, because it was from someone else's bank account. And I feel like it was Holland. The name was Holland, but she couldn't remember all the details, but the stuff she remembered was enough that when they went into the records, they could find that there was a stub of a third party check that she had done, and that somebody had removed $200. Now, when they looked at it, it was this uncle's account. And then when they approached him and said, you know, like, what do you know of this? He said, I didn't get her to do that. I went into the bank myself the day before or the day after, and I was served by a man.
Yeah. Whereas it was a woman
it was a woman,
Leanne.
and it was her signature doing the third party check.
Yep.
And it all aligns with her story, the bank teller's story. The uncle's story doesn't line up.
No, and I don't think they were able to find the withdrawal that the uncle supposedly did.
No, and there was no man that worked there.
No. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there wasn't even a man who worked there.
That's right,
who was a teller. That's right.
So there was no one at the bank that would have done that transaction that he was saying had happened, whereas she had clearly remembered not everything, but enough that it was like it made it.
So have we looked into the uncle? No.
No.
That's never been looked into.
No.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah. And where'd that $200 end up?
But Leanne had, well, that's it. Leanne had withdrawn money for him before.
Previously.
This wasn't a one-off or a first-time thing.
No.
She actually did that for him.
The check was approved.
Occasions.
You know, she
that's
did
right. She had
everything she needed to do, the teller,
yeah.
to make this payment happen.
Yeah.
And it all went through fine. So she hadn't done anything incorrect to hand over this money to whoever this third party was. She remembered it being someone who looked like Leanne.
Yeah. Bizarre. So friggin' bizarre.
Interesting.
There's just so many like unknowns in this case.
Absolutely.
And things that haven't been followed up.
No.
Eczema is unpredictable, but you can flare less with Ebglyss, a once-monthly treatment for moderate to severe eczema. After an initial 4-month or longer dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lily.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
You tell yourself, no one wants your college-era band tees. But on Depop, people are searching for exactly what you've got. You once paid a small fortune for them at merch stands. Now, a teenager who calls them vintage will offer that same small fortune back. Sell them easily on Depop. Just snap a few photos and we'll take care of the rest. Who knew your questionable music taste would be a money-making machine? Your style can make you cash. Start selling on Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
No.
Another unconfirmed sighting happened at 3:40 p.m. The owner of a convenience store next to the Cecil Hotel, which is the hotel that's across the road from 78 Ellis Street from Leanne's home.
Yeah.
The person there said that they served Leanne. The Crown have never, or the police have never actually confirmed that sighting.
No.
Although this person's like, I see her every day. I know who it was.
Yeah.
I know what day it was. Like, I remember it happening because I then found out the following day that she was missing. And I was like, I just saw her yesterday.
Yeah. These people, this was a small town, really.
Mm-hmm. Really,
it's not that many people in this town. They know who she is. They know who they saw.
Mm-hmm.
But the police will not confirm that these people saw what they saw.
No.
So I guess we should say then, so obviously they've reported her missing at 5:45. So, I mean, the following day on the 24th. So we're talking now from 9:30, we're talking well over 24 hours that she's been missing by the time she's reported. And as we said, the reason for that being that they did assume that she was just sleeping at someone else's house. So this was unfortunately the scenario of what their lifestyle was. That meant they didn't report her missing till the following day.
So Trisha Lynch, who was one of Leanne's best
She lived at the caravan
friends.
park. Yeah.
She's the one who lived at the caravan park. She phoned the house at about 10 a.m. looking for Leanne, and Graham answered the phone.
On the day of her missing.
On the day that she went missing.
Yeah.
And so I think Graham just assumed she'd probably gone to see
She'd found her.
Tanya. And because Tanya had actually gone down. Trisha had actually gone down, said, I'll go and see if I can find her down at the shops.
Yeah.
So I assume Graham would have thought, well, Trisha has met up with her and she's probably gone to stay there.
Stay there because she did that regularly.
All the time.
Yeah, so it was really no second
red
thought
flag. No.
at the fact that she didn't turn up home that night. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it has meant that so 5:45 the following day, they've rocked up to the police station. Now, I mean, so they've driven down there in Graham's car.
Yep. Which supposedly,
with Melissa
according to the Crown,
and Terry in it,
had Leanne in the boot.
And supposedly Leanne's in the boot at this point. But
now, can I just also say that the outside temperature on this day was 28 degrees centigrade. So the boot would have been 40 plus, 50 plus possibly.
Yep.
Okay, just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And the smell of decomposition and what would happen.
Because we're now talking, as I said, well over 24 hours since she's been put in that boot potentially.
Yep. According to the Crown, it would have been.
Yeah. So approximately then, obviously they go into, mode of like looking for a 12-year-old girl, which they did all the right things in that. They were looking for her, the police. And at 1:15 the following day, on the 26th, are we talking about?
So
sorry,
this
the
was
26th. Actually, so the Thursday was a whole other day in between with them looking for her. So the 26th of September, approximately 1:15 p.m, 2 police on dirt bikes driving around, they were looking for Leanne, unfortunately have come across a body. So they have found her partially clothed body, shoeless, in bushland just off of Red Bank Plains Road. So
this
absolutely
is a pretty
awful.
main road.
Yeah.
Her body was found only 30 metres from the road.
Yeah.
It was not very far into this bushland
Not
at
really
all.
hidden.
Not hidden.
No.
Very sort of in plain sight, really. That's not like they had to go searching or digging or looking for her in any way. She was very superficially placed on the earth.
It was only about 8 10K from their home. So very local. They haven't, from where she was sighted last as well, to where she'd walked to from home. So very local, very, but yeah, the way she was found was absolutely horrific. They actually had to identify her by fingerprints. She couldn't be identified in any other way. So the body was brutally attacked. The way that it gets described a lot is sadistic. She was put through the ringer. That poor kid.
Yeah. Look, if you want detailed descriptions of it, you can absolutely find that. I think the things that we do need to discuss, though, are the fact that she had cigarette marks, cigarette burns all over her body.
Or lighter burns, one or the other.
Both.
Yeah.
Both. So cigarette butts and lighter burns.
Yeah.
In smiley faces. So we're talking, those old school car cigarette lighters that you'd push in and the element would turn like red hot.
Yeah.
She had like 2 marks and like from the cigarette to make the eyes, and the bottom part of the cigarette lighter would make like a smiley face on the mouth part. It's absolutely horrific. There was also a sexual nature to some of her injuries.
Yeah, not definitively that they said she was sexually assaulted, but there was a sexual nature to the attack.
Yeah.
There's some interesting things in that.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
She was also bludgeoned with a blunt instrument, which was later assumed to be a hammer.
Yeah, assumed. Yeah. And there is a minimum of 10 blows to the head, which is what the autopsy proved to be the cause of death, was the blunt force trauma to her head. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely awful.
This poor girl.
Oh, just disgusting. But the other things that were found with her was a lighter and cigarette butts. None of those were tested. Now, cigarette butts can hold a fair bit of DNA. I mean, not that when we're talking early 90s, DNA is not a thing, but if they had been collected, if they'd been tested later, like we're talking 90s, by late 90s, those could have been tested.
100%.
None of those things were collected on the site, but they were there.
Yep.
There was also found with her, not found with her, but her hair at the time when they found her body was red. Now, she had beautiful blonde hair, and it was assumed when they found her body that she had managed to dye her hair red, which is what she was wanting to do. That's not what had happened. Unfortunately, the red hair was actually just blood soaked.
Yeah, so the coroner took a swatch of her hair and washed it, which is part of their process, and in washing it realised that the red tint to her hair was just blood. It had washed away. So, I think that gives you a bit of a visual idea of just how catastrophic in nature these blows were. I mean, 10 blows to the head with a blunt instrument that might have been a hammer, or something like a hammer. I mean, my God, it's unfathomable.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely disgusting. The poor kid.
Absolutely gross.
It only took them a further couple of days. I think it was 2 days later that they arrested Graham Stafford.
On the Saturday. So they interviewed him on the Friday.
Yep.
So her body was found in the afternoon on the Thursday.
Yeah.
They interviewed him for the first time on the Friday, and then they said to him on the Saturday that they wanted to interview him again, but when they found where he was, they actually arrested him for the murder of Leanne Holland.
Yeah.
Now, quick?
Oh, yeah.
Have we actually investigated any other line of inquiry here, or have we just assumed that the bloke who lived with her is probably the guy who did it because he was at home on the day
should he
that
have
she
been
supposedly
questioned
went missing?
and should he have been looked at?
100%.
Absolutely.
100% he should have been looked at.
Jumped at that quickly for an arrest at that point with minimal evidence.
I would say almost no evidence. They had a circumstantial idea of what they thought may have happened.
Yeah, the evidence wasn't.
Have you seen the police interview?
Yeah.
The first interviews, I'm going to say, it's amateurish.
Yeah.
The second interview is embarrassing.
Yep.
Those police officers should be fucking embarrassed.
Yeah.
Queensland police should be embarrassed, the fact that that is out there and you can see the way he's interviewed. Graham is having to correct them on dates, timelines, things that happened, things that they're accusing him that happened that he then had to correct them on. He's like, no, you said I did this. I actually didn't. I did this.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. So his timeline for the day, though, is that he was working on his car in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously and he changed. Oh God, I'm not a car person, but like.
Yeah, can we just say for Graham, his car was his pride and joy.
Yes.
He loved that car and any spare time he had, he'd work on it. He was actually a motor mechanic by trade. So this was something that he was very adept at and something that he really took so much pride in.
His Holden Gemini.
Yeah. Red sedan, Holden Gemini sedan. Yep.
Yes. So he was working on his car for the morning. He changed something in the car that they change. But he had a specific thing he wanted to do that morning on the car. And he did do that. And he worked on that until roughly about 11 a.m. Now, there were people who witnessed him doing that because this was like a main road that they were on.
Yeah.
So there were people that witnessed him at the car. There was a neighbour he spoke to at some point that morning as well over a fence.
Yeah.
So he was seen to be that he was doing that up until around about 11 a.m.
Are you talking about the Vietnamese neighbour?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one gets me too.
Yeah.
Because Graham and the neighbours, actually, it was a husband and wife.
Yes.
They were planting like a persimmon tree or something like that, something random, something Queenslandish that we wouldn't be able to grow in Victoria.
Yeah.
And you can grow persimmons in Victoria. Anyway,
I can't.
Whatever. Well, no, you can't fucking grow mint.
No.
You wouldn't understand that joke, but mint grows easily.
Oh, okay. Doesn't at my place.
Anyway, sorry. So basically, this Vietnamese couple, English was their second language, and so they had a conversation with Graham over the fence. It was cyclone fencing, so you could see through it.
Yeah,
it was just wire fencing, and he was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Very superficial conversation. Great. What then happened was when Graham told the police his story.
Yeah,
they then went and spoke to this Vietnamese couple with an interpreter.
Yeah.
And somehow they convinced this couple to sign a statement to say that they were actually at a funeral at the time, but they weren't. That was the next day.
Yeah.
So this is another case of just as they were in the interview, they couldn't get their fucking days straight.
Well, I don't know if you've ever used interpreters before.
No.
No, I have on a number of occasions. And I'm sorry, but you never get the right information.
No.
It doesn't interpret well.
Yeah.
It is very difficult. I mean, as much as and I don't know whose fault you want to call that, as in, because the cops probably will ask questions and this is the thing. An interpreter has a role of interpreting. The police have a role as a their job is the police work. And then you've got this lay person over the other side, right? So you've got one person who's got a job to do, who's trying to communicate that to someone else, who's then communicating that to the next person.
Yeah.
It's
a bit of a whispers sort of situation.
It is a little bit. It just gets lost in translation.
Yeah.
So this cop's probably explained it in cop language. Then the interpreter kind of go, well, how am I going to put that in Vietnamese and my understanding of it on layered into it?
Sure.
And then it gets spoken to the other person and they come back with a response, which then they've got to go, okay, well, how do I put that into English and give it to a cop? It doesn't really go as well as you think it's going to go.
And this is, okay, that's okay. Let's take that as being the reason.
Yeah.
But then that's an unreliable witness.
Absolutely.
So the fact that the cops bloody hung their hat on this is not good enough.
No.
And not only was it these Vietnamese people, next door neighbours who saw him, but there were people who drove past seeing his bum hanging out of the car,
there were others that saw enough to just disregard then the neighbours of what they said to kind of go, he was there roughly until about 11 a.m, which I think in the end the cops kind of come around to that. To 11 a.m, they've got him kind of covered. They know where he was.
Yeah, so then what they're saying is that between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. when Terry got home
Well,
from
no,
work,
their official statement is that somewhere between 8:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. is actually their official line, that it happened somewhere in there.
Yep.
But yeah, his timeline basically gives him till about 11 a.m.
Yep.
The next one where we can corroborate where he was at about 1:20 p.m. He went to a friend's place. So, and then at 2:18 he was at Franklin's supermarket. Who remembers Franklin's? I do.
God, yeah, definitely.
Then at 2:59 p.m. we went through the car wash.
That's proven with receipts. Like, we've actually got
There's
physical receipts.
Absolutely evidence
we
there of that.
We know he definitely went and
did those things. So the friend that he went to their house, that they corroborate that he was there from 1:20, and obviously left there in enough time to get to Franklin's by 2:18.
He also had Red Rooster for lunch in there somewhere.
Oh, there's not Red Rooster in
Queensland.
Queensland. What is it? Big Red?
No, is it Big Red?
Big
No,
Red?
it's like, far out.
No.
Anyway, he had what we now know as Red Rooster.
Yes. So there was a number of things there, but basically between 11 a.m. and 1:20 p.m. ish, there isn't kind of someone else who can give him an alibi of what he was doing between then.
Yeah.
He says he was doing things, but no one else would have seen him do them. So, I mean, and I feel for the guy in that sense that genuinely, I mean, you can spend plenty of time without someone seeing you in a day, and it doesn't mean you're murdering someone. Like,
yeah,
I get that, but unfortunately, he doesn't have anyone who can corroborate what he was up to between that time.
No.
So it does give him enough time, I guess, to have maybe murdered her, but does it give him enough time to have cleaned up the mess? Which is what I then really struggle with.
There is absolutely no way. In my mind, this is the thing that proves to me that he didn't do it.
Yeah. So
in the house,
the
anyway.
police say that he did it in the house, in that bathroom.
In the bathroom, yep.
Now, there's been a lot of people looked at this, that if this death occurred in a small space like that, no matter where it took place, there was a lot of blood.
Did you watch the under investigation thing where they actually got like a
splattered blood?
Splattered blood.
Yeah, it was only a small bit, but yeah.
Well, it was like a
10-cent piece, 20-cent piece.
20-cent piece, maybe.
Yeah.
And then they've hit that with a hammer to show you what the blood splatter would be.
Yeah.
Spatter would be.
Yeah.
It was immense.
Yeah.
So there was blood literally like up to what would be the ceiling height, the width of that again.
Yeah.
From one drop, a little pool of blood and one hammer blow.
Which they were saying was like, that's one hammer blow. We're talking minimum 10. Like, that's what they're saying that she died from.
Exactly.
So 10 blows to that kind of pool of blood. I mean, that same pool of blood, I think they did it. Did they do it twice?
I think they did it twice.
With the hammer. So I mean, it still splattered the second time, even that with not adding any more blood. Like, and now what they say they found, the police, is they did find potential blood in the bathroom. But did they find the kind of blood level that would have been there if that was the case?
No way. And not only that, but if he had have cleaned that all up and done a meticulous job, which he would have had to have done, then it's still, there's no way he could have cleaned it up that well in such a short amount of time. Not only that, people have blood in bathrooms. Like,
well, this is the thing.
You might cut yourself shaving. You might have a finger and you go to the bathroom to get cut finger. You go to the bathroom to get a Band-Aid.
Yep.
Like, think about women when they have their period.
Say, Leanne's 12. There's a chance that she had started on a period.
That's
like
it.
There's blood around. You can nick yourself. She could have been shaving her legs. Nicked herself doing that.
Shaving, exactly. Even for a man, like he could have, cut himself shaving.
Because that's the other thing with this, with the blood stuff as well, that gets brought up, that they say that what they found was Leanne's blood. Now, at this time, they were not able to do DNA testing of the blood.
No.
All they could do was test for, like, DNA family, basically. So
that's right.
They can look at what type of blood it was. And, yes, did the type of blood match Leanne? Yes. But the type of blood also matched her
Terry
dad,
and Melissa.
her brother, and Melissa.
Yeah.
Now, her brother had been there a couple of days prior and admitted to cutting himself when he was there.
That's right. And he went to the bathroom to wash his hand and patch it up.
Yeah.
So his blood was, we know, 2 days before. So he actually broke into the family home.
Yes.
That's another thing. But it was 2 weeks beforehand. He cut his hand really badly.
Yeah.
He admits he went to the bathroom with this cut hand. Mm-hmm. I mean, hello.
And no one would have cleaned it up perfectly. Like, they didn't know he'd done it. So
just really quickly, sorry, just to interject a little bit here, but did you know that Craig, her brother, died in 1996 by falling off a balcony?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh, that's awful.
He fell off a balcony at a party and sustained he basically broke his neck and died on impact. Isn't that tragic?
Horrific.
That was only, what was that, 5 years after Leanne died.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Poor
horrific.
Terry and Melissa. Jesus, they've been through it. That's that's awful.
They really, really have.
Oh, God. So, the blood in the bathroom, I find that there's one, not enough.
Mm-hmm.
They also, and also then labelling it and specifically saying it's Leanne's, you can't say that.
They can't actually say that.
No. And even when they did get to it eventually and test it to the nth degree that they could find out whose blood it was, and this was out of 50 or 60 droplets of blood they found supposedly, potential blood, only one of them had enough to be able to DNA test it out of all of them. And even that, it was a minuscule amount to test it. That they
wasn't
found
even a quarter of a drop or something. Yeah,
it was able to be matched to Leanne. But as we said, it's a bathroom.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, if you cut your finger, you go to the bathroom to get a Band-Aid. If you nick yourself shaving, you're in the bathroom. Of course, potentially there is blood in everyone's bathrooms.
Oh, I feel like of course there would be.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that gets me, if you found blood on the ceiling, different story.
But they found this. I think that particular drop was found
on
in the
shower
bath.
curtain.
I thought, yeah. They had a bath shower. That's right.
Yeah, it was on the shower curtain. They found, and that's the only place they found blood that they could find in that.
Splattered everywhere.
Yeah, it would. That blood, if that's what took place in that bathroom, it would have been on the ceiling, on the skirting boards, on the tiles.
They also said that they found blood on the stairs, and they found a droplet of blood in Graham's car.
And supposedly they found blood in the bucket of that. They say there was a mop bucket. They reckon there was blood in that. But the thing was,
that came back as that it
this
wasn't.
This is it. What they were doing was they video recorded. The police video recorded themselves taking all this evidence at the house, and these little things that they use to test things to kind of go, that could be blood.
It's a presumptive test.
Yes.
It's not a definitive test.
So they were basically video recording that going, oh, look, see, we found blood again. That's blood. That's blood.
No.
But when those all eventually went to the lab, they weren't.
No.
So it looks on the video that, there's blood everywhere in this house. When actually, no, there was only this bit they found in the bathroom.
And this is the thing that was presented to the jury when this eventually went to trial. The jury believed that there was blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And there really wasn't.
No.
So while we're talking about the blood evidence, let's talk about the lack of blood evidence in Graham's car.
Yes.
Because if Leanne had have been bludgeoned to death like the Crown are saying, like the police say, she was bludgeoned to death in the bathroom. Now, we know heads bleed.
Yes.
There would have been so much blood. We've already talked about it from the bathroom situation. Where's the blood then that's leading out of the house? Okay, yes, they did find some blood on the stairs.
Again, minuscule droplets.
It was not even worth noting, really. No. They found one droplet of blood in Graham's
one or three?
boot. Oh, was it three?
I think it was three.
Okay.
But again, they were tiny.
Regardless,
that's
nothing.
Tiny.
If her body was decomposing in 40-degree, 50-degree heat in that boot for 2 days, you cannot and she had her head bludgeoned in. Yep. You cannot tell me that his boot would not have been covered in blood evidence.
She was wrapped in the shower curtain that had been put in the bin weeks prior.
And then also, what about the black plastic bag that was supposedly placed under her?
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
So when her body was found, they found a black plastic bin liner.
What they didn't
her.
find was a shower curtain.
Yeah.
The cops have just made that up.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
But see, then how did they get the blood off the shower curtain if they're saying she was wrapped in the shower curtain?
No. The shower curtain.
Was the one from the bin.
There was the one in the bathroom and that was hanging in there and that's what they found the blood on in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is that a couple of weeks prior to all this occurring, the shower curtain had been changed.
Yeah.
One had been taken off and a new one had been put up. So the old one that had been taken off had been put in a bin weeks prior. I don't know how often your bins get collected, but within a couple of weeks your bin's going to get collected. But supposedly he rummaged all the way through that bin to the bottom and got out that shower curtain that had been thrown out and wrapped her in that. But that's never been found.
No,
that shower
but
curtain.
what they did find when they found her body was that there was this black plastic bag.
Yeah.
Right, this black plastic bin liner.
Okay.
And the exact same brand of bin liner was found at the Holland household.
Because it's probably all you can buy at Franklin's.
There were two of them. Two. You could only buy 2.
Oh, wow.
One was green, one was black.
All right.
And
were the black ones cheaper?
Probably. I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah.
But every fucking person in
Goodna would have had them in their kitchen.
would have had it.
Every second person, at least.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's not evidence. That's circumstantial.
But that was part. They presented that in court.
Yeah, this is it. All these things were presented as if they were facts when they were actually, circumstantial and put them forward. But they should have been picked apart, I guess, more by a defence or I don't know. But they shouldn't. Well, the blood certainly shouldn't have been presented the way it was.
No,
that was not factual information.
No.
So, but in terms of like the bin liner and stuff, that's circumstantial and worth noting that it's the same brand. But whether or not that's then a closed case of like, you're done, mate, I don't know about that.
Now, the other evidence that the Crown used was the tyre mark, tyre treads.
Yes.
So what they actually did was when the forensic officers attended the site where Leanne's body was found, they took plaster casts of the tyre tracks that had been made when what they assumed was the car that had dumped Leanne's body there had driven
And this
through.
is the thing, they're assuming that too, like because this is an area that people do travel around and it's...
I mean, as we said, it was like 30 metres off the road. Like it wasn't far.
No.
So it's not like not many people necessarily went there. Anyway, they took these plaster casts and what they did was they then made an imprint with those casts. They then got basically the car, well, they got Graham's car, they drove it over, made an imprint with those tyre marks, and in court they superimposed one image on top of the other and they said to the jury, see, these match exactly. Okay?
Yeah.
What has come to light since is that that's not actually true. So what I'm saying is what was presented in court and accepted as fact at the time is not actually the truth.
No.
When further investigations were made, and this was by an independent investigator who was hired by Graham Stafford's family initially, his name's Graham as well.
Graham Crawley. Yeah, and not to be mistaken with Graham Stafford's now lawyer, Joe Crawley.
I know, it's just all these names are just too intertwined. But basically, Graham Crawley has... Originally, he was hired by the Staffords to really go through this because they believe in their heart of hearts that Graham didn't do this and they needed some help. So they enlisted Graham Crawley to help with that. And what he found is he did all of the investigations and what he found was that these tyre marks were similar, but they absolutely were not identical. And so that evidence is essentially moot.
Because the simple fact of the matter is any Holden Gemini would create a similar imprint. They all have these same tyres fitted to them.
Or very similar tyres.
Yeah,
that's
so
it.
It's very interesting that they've
But other
clutched
cars
onto
as
that.
well use those same tyres.
Yeah.
From sauce to dust to nuggets, it's Taco Bell's new Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. Are they mild? If they were mild, they'd have to change the name to Little Rascal Nuggets or Minor Nuisance Nuggets. Definitely Diablo. New Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time and while supplies last.
The other thing that's worth noting is that Graham Stafford was not a smoker.
No, he was not a smoker. No, so whereas we've got lighter marks, cigarette marks on the body.
Cigarette butts found around the body.
Yeah.
Who smoked them?
Well, we'd know that if they'd picked them up.
Oh, yeah, that's a fair point.
Sorry, do I sound like I'm not happy with the police here? Now, the other crucial bit of evidence that was used was the maggots.
Oh, the maggots.
Now, this one really spins me.
Same.
So, now a maggot was found in one single maggot was found in Graham Crawley's. Oh Jesus, here we go. See, Graham Stafford. Allegedly. According to the police, they found a maggot in the boot of Graham Stafford's car. Now, when that maggot was collected, it was labelled number 3.
Now, interestingly enough, when it was first sighted in Graham's car, it wasn't collected.
No.
They actually transported his car back to the forensics lab at the police, headquarters.
Yep.
And only then did they collect this maggot that they labelled as number 3. But anyway, sorry, go on.
Number 3. Because then after number 3 was found...
Supposedly.
Allegedly. They found 2 more maggots at the crime scene and they labelled them 1 and 2, conveniently enough.
Isn't it?
What would they have done if they'd found 3 or 4 or 5 maggots there at the scene?
Interesting, yeah.
What?
Sorry, what?
Now, the other thing interesting about these maggots, now, I've kind of deep dived into the science of maggots, which is just so great.
It actually is amazing.
It's really fascinating.
It's really fascinating.
Yeah. So, I mean, supposedly this maggot was sitting in the boot for how many days are we talking? 3 days, right?
4 by the time it got to the forensics lab, I think.
Yep. Now, these other 2 maggots, 1 and 2, had been sitting with the body for that amount of time. And the way they at the time went, oh, they're a match. They're obviously from the same decomposing body was because they were at the same stage of growth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maggots grow based on the temperature and the environment they are in.
Food
sources, all these sorts of things. Now, this lonely maggot in the boot didn't have much of a food source where it was, did it? It also would have had a lot hotter, humid temperatures in that boot.
Maggots cannot survive in temperatures above 40 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposedly alive in the boot of this car.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
And at the same growth development as the ones that were found outside at the scene where the body was, where they had food source, all those sorts of things. And the temperature would have been cooler. Now,
100%.
Graham Crowley, who is freaking amazing, he waited until he could get 3 to 4 days of the similar temperatures as what went for those days, which, I mean, how often do you get the same temperatures consistently in the same amount of days repeated at a different time, a different year?
Yeah.
He went and waited till he could get those sort of temperatures to do some tests on this, basically. And, yeah, there is no way that scientifically those maggots, could have been living in different environments and be paired together as the same.
That's it. From the same batch, basically.
Yeah.
So the entomologist that the Crown used in giving evidence about these maggots was actually given misinformation in doing her calculations. Yes. So she was given what the Bureau of Meteorology said was the temperature on that particular day.
We always know how accurate they are.
Yeah. But also what they gave was the temperature of the region, not the temperature of the actual specific site where Leanne's body was found.
Yeah.
So what Graham Crowley did was he actually found this entomologist and asked her to recalculate. So in her evidence was at trial was that Leanne more than likely died at about 12:30 on the Monday.
Yeah.
So I think she gave a window of about 5 hours on the Monday. And this is based on all of how the maggots were, all that sort of stuff when they found her. Graham Crowley then gave her the actual temperature that was taken at the time. So, I mean, we're looking at these maggots as a reference for time of death.
Yeah.
Because once a body is at ambient temperature, there is no way to determine. You can determine the time of death if you can get a core body temperature on a deceased person until they are at the same temperature, until they are at ambient temperature, same temperature as the surroundings. Mm-hmm. Once they're at the same temperature as their surroundings, there's no way to find out what their time of death was based on their temperature. So that's why they go and look at, flora and fauna around the body.
Yeah.
And it's always maggots because maggots are generally present. It's in such a short amount of time after a body has died. That blew my mind as well.
Yeah.
They know exactly when a maggot would have been present, when a fly would have laid the maggots. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But it's a known science.
Yeah.
It's not an exact science.
No.
But it gives a bit of a ballpark. Okay, so Graham Crowley has then gone and asked her to recalculate based on the temperature that he knows, the ambient temperature of where Leanne's body was found. And what she then concluded was that Leanne actually probably died at around 10:30 on the Tuesday. Where was Graham Stafford at the time? Oh, he was at work. Like proven to be at work.
And very, very much alibied that entire day.
And the next day.
Yeah.
And the next day.
Yep.
And the next day.
Yep.
Basically, from the time he got to work on the Tuesday morning, he was with someone until he was arrested.
Because this is the thing.
On the Saturday.
He went to work on the Tuesday having absolutely no idea Leanne was missing.
No idea.
So he went to work that day, no question. He actually even went to work on the Wednesday. Even though he knew that she was missing, he did go to work because there were specific things that needed to get done, but he also went so that he could spread the word about Leanne in various other places. Mm-hmm. So he was actively still trying to help them find Leanne, even though he did go to work that Wednesday, but he was alibied for those days.
So what the police say is that on the Thursday morning, they say that Graham actually went, and that's when he dumped the body before he went to work on the Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few things wrong with that as well.
Yeah.
So Graham did have a friend who lived near the site where Leanne's body was found. It was about 1 kilometre before you get to where Leanne's body was found, okay, as you drive from their home.
Mm-hmm.
He went to this friend's house because he actually wanted to talk to him about Leanne being missing, and he said he wanted to talk to someone outside of the family. This was one of his really good mates.
Yeah.
And just to have a bit of a debrief before
really
he
saw
then
this
went
person
off
as
to
a real
work.
mentor kind of person.
Yeah, he was older than Graham, but obviously a very valued friend. Unfortunately, this friend was actually babysitting his grandkids that day and he wasn't at home.
Yeah.
So he can't corroborate the fact that Graham went to his house that morning. What the police allege is that that's when Graham dumped the body and then he went to work.
Yeah.
And was at work, like apparently he was 10 minutes late for work or something that
day. The
other
thing that with the tyre impression too, it sort of comes into play a little bit here that I cannot rule out, in that Graham potentially, knowing that Leanne is missing, as he was going to his friend's place, it was so close to there. Would you not pull in there?
Why would you look there? Why would you look there?
Why wouldn't you look there? If it's a I don't know, wooded area, kind of thing. Would you just drive in, just kind of go, oh, this could be somewhere where, someone could, I don't know. Is it possible he did pull in there and look for her?
Why wouldn't he
totally
have just said
innocently?
That? Why wouldn't he have just said that?
Maybe he doesn't remember he did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the thing. He wasn't at the time thinking to himself, I'm being looked at as a potential suspect. He's just thinking of his girlfriend's sister's gone missing, who he always got along with Leanne. Everyone always says that, no matter whether they think he's guilty or not. Prior to this, there was a very good relationship between Leanne and him.
He used to take her to concerts. They went to the Kylie Minogue concert, I think, together.
She wanted to be Kylie Minogue.
Yeah. She took him. Sorry, he took her to a Rocker Stedford or something like that. Apparently, she used to wear his clothes as well, which sounds a bit weird, but he is a very little man.
Yeah.
I think he's 5'2".
Yeah.
And he's very slight. I think he weighs something like 57 kilos. Leanne was 5'2" when she was 12 and went missing.
Yeah.
So weighed significantly less. I think she weighed about 40 kilos or something like that, 41 kilos maybe.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is even physically for him to then carry her, who's the same size as him, that even doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Absolutely.
But I feel like there's so many things. If you want to go circumstantial evidence route, which is what the police have done, I could also come back with it and say that, you can't rule out the fact that his car did pull in there at some stage.
Yeah. Yep.
But innocently. So I don't know. That's just, none of it adds up.
None of it adds up. But unfortunately, when this went to trial, now this is another thing actually. So this went to trial.
Yes.
And literally Graham's court-appointed lawyer was appointed 2 days before the trial began.
Yeah.
How do you have time to investigate any of the facts, fact-check anything, come up with a case, come up with a defence? You don't have time. He was not given a fair go at it.
No way. He was not given a fair trial. You can't dispute that, I don't think, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Especially when you know that the blood stuff that was presented inaccurately.
Well, this is the thing,
that
right?
alone on itself.
I actually, if you look at, you can read some of the court transcripts, you can read, most of them actually.
Yeah.
You can actually read like some of the brief of evidence. There's some stuff that's redacted in there, but you can read a fair bit of information in this case. And honestly, when you read it, a lot of it you're like, oh yeah, like he did do it. He absolutely did this. Like absolutely, yes, he did. But then when you find out that once this evidence, so none of that evidence was ever actually tested in court.
No.
It was accepted as fact. His lawyers didn't challenge it, didn't investigate properly.
No.
And so what the jury were presented with, this is in no way the jury's fault. What the jury were presented with were facts that anyone would have convicted Graham Stafford.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, they were presented with things as fact that weren't.
Yeah.
And so what they were presented with, within 3 hours, they turned around and they said guilty.
Yep.
And I can understand that. They are not at fault here. This is the cops' fault.
Yeah.
This is, and then it comes down to the prosecution as well of going with it and illegally, I think, presenting a case that was not factual. That unfortunately then his defence attorney was not on top of enough to go, whoa, let's get this back on track, and that's not accurate, and this is why, and, do all they should have done in the courtroom and, pulled apart what the prosecution were putting forward to defend him as he should have had that defence.
100%.
So, unfortunately he was convicted. So on the 25th of March 1992, he was convicted of the murder of Leanne. He was sentenced to a minimum of 15 years to life in prison, which, I mean, he just vehemently denied from the get-go that he was not involved and didn't do it. He appealed the conviction. This gets me, that his first appeal was just dismissed entirely by the Queensland court. In March 93, the High Court refused special leave to appeal any further. Then he waited until 1997 before he could put forward a second appeal. At that appeal, 2 judges said dismissed it. A third judge, so Tony Fitzgerald was his name.
Yes.
Now, he believed that Stafford had been convicted on evidence which was presented as a significantly mistaken version of events. Bingo.
But because
he's
it
on
was
it.
2 against 1.
2 against 1. It didn't get over. So he lost that appeal. But Tony Fitzgerald was onto it. He could see what was wrong here. And it's such a shame that the other 2 judges did not pick up on what he picked up on. Because he then, I mean, poor Graham Stafford then sat in jail until 2006, where he was on parole. So because he was model prisoner.
Apparently, the correctional officers he actually got 4 letters of recommendation from different correctional officers upon leaving for parole.
Yeah. When he hit that parole period, there was no question as to whether or not he was ready for parole. Like, there was no talk of, should he or shouldn't he get out? They were, he's ready to go. There's nothing here to be seen. He was out actually prior to the 15 years being like, because they just trying to climatise them to getting back out into the community and stuff. So he was actually out on parole, and it was slightly before 15 years. But he was just being watched carefully and starting to get a job and all those sorts of things. And so whilst that was occurring, he managed to actually get in a third appeal in a couple of years after he was on parole. And it was until that appeal that finally they stepped up and said that, Tony Fitzgerald was right, and this was a miscarriage of justice, and that this should be a retrial.
So, this is the thing, though. They haven't exonerated him.
No, it's just been quashed.
It's been quashed.
And a retrial
ordered. But then the DPP have said that they are not going to pursue another trial against him. You tell me why, because there's not enough fucking evidence to do it, to actually convict him. But what's shit for Graham about that?
Oh, so much shit with
so much shit. I mean, the fact that he was in prison at all.
Yeah.
But he's now in limbo.
Oh.
He's not an innocent man, but he's not convicted of the crime.
Yeah.
But he could at any moment be
done
tried.
15 years in jail.
But he could at any moment be tried again for her murder.
And if he was tried, though, and he got 15 years, he's already done those 15 years.
Yeah.
So then it just does it actually fucks with my brain, the thought of him going through another trial and whether
to then not serve another day.
Either he gets convicted again, which, I mean, at the end of the day, I honestly don't know. I don't know who did this. Let's say he gets convicted and they do line up all the dots on this circumstantial evidence, and they get there and he does get convicted. For what end? He's already done the time. Okay, or the alternative, he's not given innocent at this. He's given not guilty. Not guilty. That's not innocence.
This has absolutely fucked his life because, he was in prison for the years where he could have potentially gotten married and had children.
He was 43 when he left jail. 43. So he's lost, majority of his life really. To start a family, all those sorts of things. I mean, he can still have kids as a 43-year-old man, but who wants to start children as a 43-year-old?
Oh, God, the thought of it.
Luckily for him, he has met a beautiful partner, and that's fine. All that's great for him. But, he's lost so much of his life. It's insane. And for what? Because we don't even know still if he did it.
And this is the thing that gets me, because at the end of the day, this is our society, our justice system. We need to find who murdered this girl in the most brutal of manners.
Yeah, and that's what gets
somebody out there potentially is walking around having committed this crime and is not paying the price for it.
And who do we pay as a society to find that person? The police. Are they trying to find who did this? Are they trying to prosecute Graham Stafford? Nope. They're not doing anything about that.
That's the thing. Should we go through some other suspects?
Yeah, let's, because there's plenty of them.
There's plenty of them. So
who would we like to start with?
Let's start with Sean McFedrin.
Oh, yep.
So this one's, oh my God. So Sean McFedrin is in jail for killing a girl, a 12-year-old girl by the name of Julianne Lowe on the 16th of October in 1991, literally 3 weeks after Leanne's murder.
Yeah.
In Goodna.
Yeah.
Now,
just out of. Yeah.
What is the likelihood that two 12-year-olds are murdered in the same area by two different people? Coincidence? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 900 metres away from where Leanne's body was found.
Leanne knew this guy too.
Yep, she knew this guy.
Sean lived at the caravan park where Leanne would go and hang out with Trisha.
Yep.
They would kick the footy together. Mm-hmm. They hung out. They knew each other.
He lived in a tent there.
Yeah. He lived down a bit further off out of the caravan park on the creek because he was known to be very unusual.
His mum and dad had kicked him out of their family home because he was dangerous.
Well, during his trial for Julianne, his mum actually alleges that he committed his first murder when he was 4.
3 years of age. He drowned his brother Jason in the bath.
I mean, it's not proven, but that's what the mum claims.
But okay, this kind of, look, yes, maybe this happened, but there wasn't an adult present when there was a baby and a 3/4-year-old in the bath.
Yeah.
What the mum says is the dad actually came into the bathroom because he heard some splashing sounds, and Sean had actually gotten out of the bath and gone to the toilet. And when the dad went into the bathroom, the little brother, Jason, was deceased in the bath, had drowned in the bath.
Yeah.
And they tried to perform CPR on him and to no avail.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of like
3 or 4. Yeah. Like, to me,
they're basically trying to claim here that he's like, this
psycho
born evil devil child. But I mean, or did that episode fuck him up entirely?
That's it.
And then it created.
Was this the trauma that sort
triggered
of
it all?
The catalyst for all of this?
Yeah.
His mum claims that he had catalogues of pornographic materials from when he was quite a young boy.
Yeah.
If there was no toilet paper in the bathroom, he'd use towels and just leave them on the floor for his mum to clean up.
Oh, God.
Apparently he only had 2 friends, really, and none of them, both male, none of them female.
Yeah.
He was diagnosed as a chronic psychotic schizophrenic. This was, I believe, after the
murder.
The murder.
Yeah.
When he was aged 6. Now, this is actually proven, like this was for real happened. When he was 6 years of age, he was in grade 1 at school and he tried to strangle a girl. Classmates tried to pry him off of her but couldn't. Someone went and got a teacher and the teacher physically was able to separate them. But apparently he was close to killing this girl.
Yeah.
That's at the age of 6.
It's freaking awful.
He worked as a trolley collector for a local, I don't know if it was Franklin's or not, but at the local supermarket.
Yeah.
And he was diligent about going to work. He went to work every day except the Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday that Leanne went missing. Interesting.
Now, the police, though, didn't interview him.
Nope.
Didn't look at him at the time because even when Julianne's body showed up, even at that point, which is only 3 weeks later, they still didn't question him really around Leanne's death. And the reason for that being that, but he drowned Julianne and Leanne wasn't drowned.
Leanne was bludgeoned.
So therefore, different MO, so different person.
Now, we know from psychological profiling, now, again, not an exact science, but it absolutely gives an idea. And a very
pretty good a lot of the time.
idea. That's it. That you don't actually, a serial killer or somebody who murders more than one person doesn't need to have the same MO in terms of method of killing. It'll be the motivation behind it.
The fact they were both 12-year-old girls.
Yep. Or the motivation behind it, psychosexual, same thing with Julianne.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the actual fuck? But no, was never really looked into. Just a really interesting little tidbit. One of his 2 friends drove a red Tirana sedan, very similar in size to a red Gemini.
Yeah, so probably similar tyres.
Similar tyres.
On that.
Yep. Just an interesting thing to note.
Just interesting, you think? Oh, man.
Next, we've got Mark Thomas Noble.
Oh, yes.
So he was an alcoholic, chronic alcoholic. He had killed someone in the past with a hammer and an axe.
Yes.
It was an
man.
An ex-housemate or current at the time housemate. Apparently he went to bed after he did it and then only the next morning rang the authorities to say, oh, look, this person's dead in my lounge room.
I mean, as you do.
He also killed a female near a rubbish dump just south of Brisbane, and this was somebody who was not known to him.
Yeah.
He lived in Goodna. He was around at the time.
So the reason he was on their radar, though, was that it wasn't until 2005, I think. It was an ex-girlfriend of Noble, who came forward, who finally felt that she could come forward because he was in jail. Okay. Because I mean, he was a freaking scary bloke. I don't hold that against this person whatsoever. At all. She was very scared for her safety. So once he was in jail and in there for an extended period of time, she felt comfortable to come forward, and she reported to the police that he was extremely violent, drug addict, alcoholic, all those things. But he would brag about killing a girl in the western suburbs of Brisbane near some beehives. Now, no one had released to the public at any point, but there was a beehive nearby where Leanne's body was found. But no one in the public knew that. So there was interesting information that came forward from her that connected really him to that murder potentially. Again, never interviewed.
The third is known as by many different aliases, actually. Yeah. So in the podcast, he's referred to as Pedophile Pete. The police refer to him as Stephen. So there's lots of different ways that this person is referred to.
Yeah, motherfucker's one way to describe him too.
Yeah, so this motherfucker was actually a police informant, and he would have the cops over to his house, beers, barbecues. He'd go to their place. I believe his children would have sleepovers at the police officers' homes with their children. It was all very intertwined.
Not only that, he was friends with Terry Holland.
He was.
And he would take Leanne on drives occasionally.
Yep.
Too.
Now, this man is a career criminal, 40 years worth of offences. From stealing, firearms offences, sexual offences, violence and incest.
Yep. He wasn't jailed for that until 1996, so just after Leanne.
After Leanne's murder.
However, he was informing and assisting the police in Leanne's case.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know. He was at the crime scene when her body was found.
Yeah.
He was given the photos of her deceased body.
And he took them home.
And threatened his daughter with them.
And said this is what happens to little girls who don't do what they're told.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? He's also stood trial for raping his 12-year-old granddaughter.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. He lived in the same street as the Hollands, Bailey Street. So this is before they moved to Alice Street, so where Graham was helping them move.
Yeah.
Graham Stafford was helping them move. He lived next door to them in that previous residence, so they were very well known to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was also like big drinker and all of that stuff too, he and Terry certainly hung around each other a fair bit.
Yeah.
And saw a lot of each other socially. His daughter says that she endured horrendous sexual abuse, and not only sexual abuse but physical abuse. He would burn cigarettes into her arms. He would use lighters.
You know what he said about the burning of her though? So one stage, what he would regularly say to her is he would burn her on the thigh, which is where Leanne had burn marks. And his words to her at the time were, this is the best place to burn little girls because it opens their legs the fastest. Now, if you can imagine, yes, if you put a lighter near someone's leg, the first thing you're going to do is pull your leg away from that. And, I guess that is what that does. Not intentionally to allow someone access, though.
God.
But that's what he told his daughter, and that they align with the kinds of burns that were found on Leanne.
Oh. What an
his
daughter shit does not even. No.
His daughters also said that where Leanne's body was found is where quite often they would get taken
to be raped
and assaulted by him. There's just, between him and Sean, to me those two.
Agreed.
I put them as front runners, and I can't pick a winner.
Yeah, same.
They're both absolutely horrific human beings.
Yeah.
Are they even human? Yeah.
Apparently the police sent this bloke, pedophile Pete, Stephen, whatever you want to call him, to Terry's house after Leanne went missing to see if he would, tell a mate any special information that he might know that he wouldn't otherwise tell the police.
Gross.
The police knew he was raping his daughters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
They never questioned him.
This is where I kind of go, none of this whole story makes sense. And the only part of it kind of does is that the police were looking after someone who did these kinds of acts. Mm-hmm. They knew who he was and what he did, yet they were having barbecues with him and hanging out with him like he's a mate. Now, they can say all they like, we were doing that to get information. I don't give a shit. Who would want to spend time with a person like that?
There are so many other ways to get information out of someone than pretending like you're best friends with them.
Absolutely.
You fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I can't have it. Cannot.
No.
I think it's absolutely disgusting that he was involved in any aspect of this.
It's
in
disgusting.
the way the police absolutely stand there and go, oh yeah. He did that. He did that. We had him helping out.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Fuck off.
Absolutely what the hell.
Just fuck off.
So the other thing that police have done with this that I have massive question marks over is after they after the conviction was quashed and they were looking at would they retrial Graham, the police did a review of the case. Now that review, they completed it and came out and said, our review has been concluded and we stand by the fact that Graham Stafford did it. Now, they can't do that. That's for the courts to decide. They can sort of point directions of
100%. They can say we would charge this person
retried
or whatever. Yep.
And charged with something, but that's not their job. But also then, where is this report?
Oh, we're not allowed to see it?
No one was given access to it until randomly one day they decided to leak it to Channel 7.
Now, from what I've heard, literally 12 people had access to this report.
Yeah.
So one of 12 people
Yep.
has released this to the media.
They purposely did that.
Of course they did.
The police purposely did that. And not only that, Channel 7 have really botched it when they've gone down this case. They've taken the cop's line of that Graham Stafford's the guilty party here. The journalism in that I don't even know what to call it. It was disgusting. The way they sat him there.
Oh my God.
And said to him and badgered him around doing a polygraph on live, kind of, sitting there live.
National TV. Yep.
And he, rightly so, Graham Stafford declined. And they basically declared that meant that he was guilty. Now, I'm sorry. There's no fucking way that you should be saying yes to that.
Okay. If you're going to take one thing from this podcast, don't ever do a lie detector test, regardless of your guilt or innocence.
Yep.
Don't ever do one.
Lawyer up and say no to the polygraph.
Yep. 100%.
And they're not admissible.
But Graham Stafford had actually phoned his lawyer and said to his lawyer,
what do I do?
They want me to do this. What do you think? And his lawyer was like, fuck no, don't do it.
Yes.
No. Number one, they're not admissible in court.
No, it's
and
not
number
admissible.
two, there's so many variances and factors. We don't know who the polygraph operator is. Just no. It's just a no. Why would you put yourself in that position?
Absolutely. There's no way. So he did the right thing in saying no. But they've aired this and, trying to make him look guilty.
And
it's
it
just
does.
disgusting.
It actually makes, if you knew nothing else about it, it does make him look guilty.
So it's very biased journalism.
Incredibly.
But so basically Graham Stafford's lawyers since have just been absolutely like, well, show us this report. Tell us what, you've got. What's the evidence you've got so we can look into it and work on this or whatever. They will not produce it. What they have produced to them is so redacted. Why would the person who they're claiming who's done this need it to be redacted? It's an absolute farce.
Well, it just is showing that it's not an open and transparent process.
And oddly enough, the DPP have looked at it and gone, yeah, well, we're not going to retry him. It's not worth it.
Interesting, yeah. Why?
Is that because the evidence isn't there?
Well, the evidence hasn't been tested. That's the biggest problem, right?
Yeah.
If the police had have done their job properly and tested the evidence, they would have come to that natural conclusion themselves.
Yes. And this is the thing. If Graham Stafford did do this, even if he did, the policing was so poor that you can't convict him. He has been convicted, which is the shit part of this. Whether he did it or not, he shouldn't have been convicted.
He was convicted on false evidence.
Yeah. So no matter what, whether he did actually do it or not,
if nothing else.
Yeah. What that judge put it really well of significantly mistaken factual
information. Or something. Yeah, yeah.
The way he worded it, I thought was
yeah.
That's the thing. It's been presented as fact when it wasn't. So that's where the crux of this issue is, whether or not he did do it or not. You can't convict him on that. The poor jury we know there was one juror particularly, but he's come out and said, if I'd known this, there's no way you would convict him. So
he says I put him in there.
Yeah,
I'm going to now do everything I can. Now that I know what I know, I'm going to do everything I can to get him exonerated, because knowing what I know now, I would never have convicted him. I would never have said he was guilty.
Yeah. That's the only thing that Graham Stafford can take away from this now. That at least he knows there's one person who was on the jury who would exonerate him.
And I'm sure that all of them, if they knew it, if they saw it again, or if they've followed this case at all, they'd feel the same way.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Which again, I will say, I'm not. It doesn't make me 100% convinced he didn't do it, but the evidence, I'm just the evidence isn't there in the way it's being presented.
Yeah.
You can't convict him on what you've got.
I personally don't think he did it.
I don't know.
I really don't think he did it.
I don't know. I honestly just don't know. Yeah. And the thing is, there is two other people that I literally, as equally, well, probably more so, put into the category. Because the other thing with Graham Stafford that is the biggest thing that for me that says he didn't do this is that he's never done it again. No. He has no priors.
Before.
There's no criminal history for him, no criminal since. He is, if you look at the behaviour of this and psychology of it, that's not normal. Whereas these other two fucktards that they've
had
mentioned,
escalations of behaviour. They've hit all of those marks of a true psychopath and a true serial killer.
And
in both of their cases,
could murder someone this sadistically. There's no way they haven't either done stuff prior or will do stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
That man went into prison and came out as, everyone said, model prisoner. He's never done anything ever since or prior. The biggest thing he's ever had is bloody speeding ticket.
I think he got a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt once or something. Like, that's the worst thing.
The worst thing, yeah. Who hasn't?
Seriously.
Yeah. It's insane that we're pinning this on someone who has done nothing to say that he's done this other than be in that house.
Yeah.
And when there's two other psychopaths right next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, my gut feeling is that Graham had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I think, those two front runners that we discussed, absolutely. I think there's definitely a lot more investigation that needs to happen there.
Yeah.
And I mean, both of them are in prison at the moment.
Yeah,
so
we know at least where they are.
At least that's something.
Yes. And I believe Noble is dead.
Noble is dead. He died in 2017.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think what really needs to...
Sorry.
I think what really needs to happen is in this case is it needs to go to a coronial inquest.
This is the thing.
And we need to then go based on whatever comes of that and pursue that line, because I feel like that's the only way we're going to get any form of justice for Leanne in this.
This is the thing. She kind of gets forgotten, which is awful. But then, but I also do equally put like Graham Stafford. He's innocent of this. He spent 15 years in jail for something he didn't do.
There's absolutely two victims here.
Yeah.
I think Graham Stafford is also a victim of circumstance in this case, and I feel for him.
Yeah,
I really do. One of my worst fears, especially before I had children, one of my worst fears was going to jail for something I didn't do.
Really?
Yeah,
because I think about
because I just think. And this is what happened with him. He kind of trusted the process. His mum and dad trusted the process. And they're like, when he got arrested, we were like, oh, it'll be fine. They'll figure out that it's not right and it'll be fine. No, he fucking spent 15 years in prison.
Yeah.
For something I strongly believe he didn't do.
Yeah.
Like, it's so unfair. And he hasn't been given any compensation.
No.
He hasn't been given a pardon. He hasn't.
No.
No one's formally apologised,
but it doesn't mean that he's in this limbo of guilty, not guilty.
And people will still think he's done it.
100%. So this is the thing. Even
and there are people who do.
Yeah. And I think it was the judge on that under investigation who said, like, even if he went to a retrial and he got a not guilty, which he was like, he believed he would get not guilty. He said that's not really going to fix it for you because there's still going to be people who believe that you did it.
Yeah.
It's not innocent. It's not guilty.
That's it.
So unfortunately, he will live the rest of his life.
And it's beyond reasonable doubt in a court of law.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so much reasonable doubt in this.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, if nothing else,
there's nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shit. And just to bring it back to Leanne, I mean, that poor girl, she was 12 years old, and to have gone through what she went through, and then to know that the justice for that has not occurred. Mm-hmm. And someone that she, really liked him. She was, he missed his relationship with Melissa. We don't know whether they would have ended up together or not as a future. Who knows? I mean, it's a whole life that's been affected. It's not just
and then look
his
at
life,
Terry and Melissa's life.
Yeah.
And Craig. Until he passed away.
Exactly.
You know, how much they've, like, this is just, it's ruined so many people's lives.
Yeah. And unfortunately, probably not as much of the person who did this as it should have.
No. I think because the person who did this is likely some kind of psychopath. So.
Yeah. And look, they're potentially in jail, but not for this.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I know Sean McFedrin is unlikely to ever get out.
Well, he's only been in psychiatric wards and stuff like that because he was, I think at one stage he was deemed as not capable of sitting trial because of his mental state.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be institutionalised.
He won't ever be released. Otherwise, but that other
pedophile Pete, Stephen, whatever we want to call him.
Yeah.
I believe he was only serving 6 years or something.
That actually rings a bell. I think it is 6 years that he was in for, and that was it. So he could be out soon.
It's scary.
Yeah. which is so – I can't believe that people only get that for what he did. Ugh.
Oh, and the multiple – like his daughter was saying that he would perpetrate sexual violence upon her and her sister.
Yeah.
Like every week or two.
It's just horrible.
I can't believe. Oh, anyway.
Yep.
My goodness. But yeah, let's keep Leanne in our thoughts. I think we really need to keep Graham Stafford in our thoughts and both of their families and the impact that this has had.
Yeah.
So far reaching. And let's hope that a coronial inquest happens because that's what actually needs to happen to bring some justice to this.
I just wish they'd picked up those goddamn cigarette butts.
Fucking I know.
I reckon we'd have an answer.
Yep.
Like maybe not at the time, but now we would.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed. Agreed. All right.
All right. Next week.
Leave it there. Next week we're covering the Sherry Papini case.
I've zero knowledge of this case.
I love that.
I'm like,
I've just watched the Netflix doco, so
yeah.
I've got that context, but I've done no further research.
Right.
So there's a bit in that. It'll be a bit exciting.
I'm interested. I have Googled it, but I'm like, oh God, I got to get into this. But literally read like 2 lines of like what sort of the case is. Like, but that's it. That's all I know of this. So I'm very excited to dive in.
Very good. Well, thank you to everybody for joining us for our first episode of 2026. So exciting.
Oh, yes. This year's going to be great.
For a big year.
Yeah.
It's going to be wonderful. Thank you for being here with us.
Come and check us out at TikTok so we're not alone.
So we're not just posting like
to no one.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. See you guys. Stay curious, crime besties.
Bye.